Today I'm going to show you how to do a method that I call the backward join method, and I use this when I'm going to join my camel stitch rows together. You can just join with a normal slip stitch, which is fine, but I found to keep the camel stitch consistent in this join, if we use this backwards join method, we end up with just this little stitch here, which means that our other camel stitches can continue along, whereas if we look in these previous ones, you end up with quite a big bump from the join, and you don't have that consistent camel stitch like we do here. So I'll show you this method. I've been using this method for quite some time. I don't know where I saw it. It was somewhere, so I definitely didn't make this one, but hopefully this will make it a little bit easier. We also use this method when I change colour, and I will show you how I change colour as well. So from here, using the star stitch again and moving on to make a camel stitch, we're going to work into this stitch here. Now, because we're going to make the camel stitch and we're going to get these stitches to pop out, we need to be able to start with our hook at the back of the work. So to do this, just draw up a tiny loop a little bit so that it doesn't fall out, and you're going to insert the hook from the back to the front through the stitch like that. It can be a little bit fiddly. Now with your hook facing to the left, you're going to wrap this loop around the hook and just hold the back, give it a little bit of tension so you're pulling that tight, and all you're going to do is pull that through like so. So your working yarn, your working tail is at the back, and you've just drawn this loop through the stitch. So now you're working on the back, like so. And if you were to camel stitch, you would do a chain one and then work in the third loop around. If you want to change colour at this point, just make sure you don't lose that loop. So grab your colour, pretty pink, and all we're going to do is pop it over the hook, draw through, and you are ready to go. You secure that end in as you work through, and you just now work like normal. As simple as that. And that is how I do a backwards join. So it leaves a really nice finish. Just got to make sure that's nice and tight. So the stitch sort of pulls to the back, which means now that we're going to create our camel stitch, that stitch is already going to pop out. And so we're only left with that little strip of yarn, which looks like this when it's finished. So the tighter you pull that, the less you will see it. So it is important, once you get the loop to the back, you pull it really tight, so then it secures it and pulls it through. As you can see, some different ways of joining just a normal slip stitch there. And that's how you do it.